All right, so this is a suggestion via Discord. The name of the video is, how are rotisserie chickens so cheap? This is coming from the channel Weird History Food. As we're entering in, I'm going to go ahead and say, they're cheap because they're buying them in bulk, bro. Absolutely.
We've all indulged in those ready-made meals at the supermarket, even though they're usually not the kindest to our wallets.
Sir, is there a problem?
I'm just making sure no one ever has to eat this.
But there is one supermarket staple that continues to satisfy both our hankerings and our bank accounts: the rotisserie chicken. These slow-cooked supermarket saviors have been a favorite for frugal customers frantically seeking a scrumptious meal. But how are they so affordable? Is there some dark secret behind these tasty birds? Well, today we're finding out how rotisserie chickens are so cheap.
Okay. Let's do it.
But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History Food channel. After that, leave us a comment and let us know what other mealtime favorites you would like to hear about. Okay, time to go for a spin.
History of rotisserie.
In medieval times, the period, not the restaurant, European citizens ditched the handheld sticks of their primitive forebears in favor of more sophisticated devices. Using hand-cranked levers, medieval cooks spun various meats from above a fire or coal-lit hearth until the food was adequately appetizing. Beef, pork, and roasted duck were popular choices among medieval families.
Bro, I wonder how many people got sick doing this, bro. Because whenever I eat rotisserie chicken, it's super soft, and I can never recreate that super soft chicken at home. So it tells me either I've been eating overcooked chicken or rotisserie chicken is undercooked. I don't know.
But there was one protein in particular that always seemed to satisfy the lords and ladies of their time, even though Chick-fil-A was a long time coming. In fact, one legend asserts that King Richard the Lionheart got himself into hot water over a rotisserie chicken. According to the story, he was rumored to have ducked into a local dinery for roasted chicken behind enemy lines. The king's enemies, lured by the luxurious odors of fire-cooked fowl, seized the Lionheart at once and arrested him. Worth it. Unlike the French fry, the term rotisserie has its origins in France. The French word rôtir, or to roast, was expanded to rotisserie, meaning a restaurant or shop that sells cooked meat. Eventually, Parisian shops began selling skewered and fire-spun birds to the public. And by the late 1400s, rotisserie chicken had become a cultural mainstay. In fact, the most famous emperor in French history was a die-hard rotisserie fan. Prior to his unceremonious exile, Napoleon was said to be incredibly fond of spit-fired poultry. Such an aficionado was Napoleon that when he journeyed to the Egyptian capital, he was said to have toted 3 roast chickens along with him.
The whole way? Were they cold?
By the 1950s, roasted chicken consumption was gaining traction across the globe. Due to ever-evolving farming techniques, chickens ready for culling were no longer relegated to the oldest hens in the hutch. But for one Peruvian farm, roasting young chickens was a necessity. Struggling to make ends meet, a Swiss expat named Roger Schuler decided to try out a new recipe. Charging just 5 soles for an all-you-can-eat cold-cooked chicken feast, Schuler's farm became a hotspot for diners in the capital of Peru. Around the same time, some 6,000 miles away, a former World War II Navy officer by the name of Ernest Morgado was making his own stake on roast chicken. Hawking his teriyaki rotisserie stands at fundraisers all across Hawaii, Morgado's innovations led to a Guinness World Record for hosting the biggest rotisserie bash of all time. With nearly 50,000 pieces of roast chicken served for charity, this Hawaiian take on rotisserie was a clear sign of things to come. Because in 1991, an American country music legend brought rotisserie over to the Atlantic. Debuting in Coral Springs, Florida, Kenny Rogers Roasters was helmed by the titular troubadour and former Kentucky governor turned KFC CEO, John Y. Brown Jr.
Does that place still exist?
Featuring rotisserie chickens by way of wood-fired spits, the chain quickly expanded to hundreds of locations. Unfortunately for the islands in the stream maestro, another U.S. chain was about to take roast chicken to the next level. Originally known as Boston Chicken, this regionally beloved rotisserie spot eventually blossomed into Boston Market. The place you go when you want to spoil yourself with a home-cooked meal on a budget. With a full-blown commitment to bringing rotisserie chickens to Americans, Boston Market expanded from the Northeast to hordes of locations across the country. Known for heavy advertisements and a rapid takeover of quick-service poultry dishes, the folks in Boston had certainly cornered the market. Perhaps knowing when to fold 'em, Kenny Rogers soon shuttered his stateside roasters and shipped his spinning spits overseas.
I'm gonna be honest, guys. Listen, so when it comes to Boston Market, I'm not a super fan, guys. I mean, it's very tasteless. It's very bland. It tastes like, I don't know. I can't explain it. There's like no flavor in that food. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I guess it is a rotisserie chicken, so I guess that's a thing, right? But it tastes, I don't know, as good as, I don't know, Panda Express versus like any other Chinese restaurant. Just understand that what I'm saying here, guys. Flavor versus bland.
But as it would turn out, even the mighty Boston Market could be toppled. Burdened with debt due to their franchise crusades, the big Boston soon trembled in the shadow of a brutal competitor. Deciding to cut out the middleman, markets and grocery stores got in on the rotisserie action. With better prices, easier access, and a whole new reason to stop and shop, grocery store rotisserie quickly became the new normal. As one of the least expensive options for families perusing the markets, rotisserie chickens are a dependable option for just about anyone. In truth, buying a fully prepared bird is a fraction of the cost of making one at home.
Right.
With a lower price than an uncooked chicken from the same store, and an absolutely unobtainable preparation method, buying your chicken to go is easily the cheapest route. But with so much meat for so little coin, one starts to wonder what's really going on behind the scenes.
Right. Going for a spin.
Unlike their fancy wood-fired or coal-simmering counterparts, the supermarket rotisserie is an entirely different kind of bird. Usually roasted in large industrial ovens, the common rotisserie chicken is roasted until it reaches the appropriate food temp and traditional brown skin. But unfortunately for clean diet foodies, these store-bought birds also come with a few added ingredients. First, the chickens are injected with a predominantly saltwater-based slurry, in addition to additives including sugar, MSG, and any number of FDA-approved preservatives. Not only does this hot shot of brine keep the chickens plump and moist on the spit, the injection also adds that touchstone savory flavor we so often associate with rotisserie. So while it may not exactly sound appetizing, the end result is magically delicious.
Yeah, I was definitely 100% told to stop eating rotisserie chicken from supermarkets. I'm going to be honest. And a lot of it is because of all of these things here. But either way.
Early leaders in the art of supermarket rotisserie, Costco introduced their line of ready-made chickens in 1994. Yes, long before AJ and Big Justice busted onto the extra-wide aisles, Costco was one of the very first purveyors of rotisserie. Served on hot holding racks in their grocery departments, these pre-bagged birds were an instant favorite for shoppers, shocked to see such low prices. In fact, rotisserie chicken sales have been on the climb ever since their inception. In a stunning leap, Costco locations saw an increase in rotisserie sales to the tune of 20 million chickens from 2022 to 2023. Right. And if the popularity of
Guys, keep this in mind here. Even though I'm not supposed to eat them, that doesn't change the fact that I do occasionally partake in some rotisserie chicken from Sam's Club specifically.
YouTubers and big deals are any indication, it seems as though there is no stopping the Costco roasted chicken phenomenon. Kroger locations were also an early contender in the rotisserie roadhouse of big numbers. But even organic markets have been taking a shot at roast fowl. For instance, Whole Foods markets have had tremendous success with their popular organic rotisserie chickens.
Organic?
And even though these birds might cost you your whole paycheck, they still sell for less than half the price of an organically raised raw chicken.
Okay.
Although the supermarket rotisserie...
Guys, let me know in the comments how much they cost near you. I think in, like my closest Sam's Club, I think it's like, bro, $6, $5?
Chicken has been injected with hard-to-pronounce goodies, and even though these birds get roasted over decidedly less interesting heat sources, the low-cost aspect usually has little $5. Impact on overall quality. As so-called loss leaders, products sold at a loss to lure in customers and hopefully get them to spend more money on other items, rotisserie chickens are a welcome gamble for savvy grocers. Think the Costco hot dog. Hey, we did an episode on that. Although rotisserie chickens are rarely consumed in-store like the Costco hot dog, unless you're some kind of Kroger Hulk, they still give shoppers one more reason to stop by and grab a few items. Think of the rotisserie chicken as a pile of unlimited breadsticks from the Olive Garden, or a free soda refill at the gas pump. Because even though these deep sales and freebies may seem like a dumb decision, retailers know exactly what they're cooking. And for the modern shopper, that's a net positive. Because before Boston markets and grocery stores got a hold of the concept, rotisserie chickens weren't always such a steal. In fact, when adjusted for inflation, the price of a cooked chicken in the 1970s was far more expensive than they are today.
Bad news.
Since 2009, Costco has maintained the low price of $4.99 for.
Yeah, and I can only imagine. This is the reason why they're still $5 at Sam's Club is because, right, Costco's is probably doing it.
An entire rotisserie chicken, with Big Macs reaching astronomical figures, and in an age when a foot-long sub could break your budget's back, this is
Yeah, bro, never go to Jersey Mike's then. If you think that's crazy, oh my God.
Kind of a big deal. But aside from their blue light special appeal, rotisserie chicken prices come with a bit of a cost. Because much as they were in medieval times, the chickens selected for roasting are often pretty old, like way past retirement. These are Roger Murtaugh chickens. With hundreds or even thousands of raw chickens shipped to individual grocery stores each week, some of those birds simply don't fly off the shelves. Rather than take a financial hit and waste the life of an unfortunate feathered friend, many grocery stores instead choose to utilize their spoilage.
What is it called? Like chicken salad.
That's right. Most of your store-bought rotisserie chickens were probably set to expire, because once the chicken has passed the sell-by date, it can no longer be used to make profit. But by injecting these spinning hens with preservatives to then roast for hours, an entirely new product is formed. One that brings in droves of hungry customers. And hey, don't fault your local market too much for pulling the nearly spoiled chicken over our eyes. There are plenty of other examples of these methods that stores deploy every day. From clearance items dangerously close to the waste bin, to going away racks filled with products that will never again see the light of day, deep discount shopping is a pretty common supermarket experience. But not every chicken is worth crowing about. For the last several years, many shoppers have complained of a soapy taste in Costco's rotisserie chickens, while some
I've never been to Costco in my life, guys.
investigators believe these sudsy tasting rotisserie poultry products are the result of poor farming. Others think those pesky additives might be to blame. Sodium
Tastes like
phosphate,
soap?
a substance commonly injected into rotisserie chickens, is known to taste of soap at high levels. So are these slow-cooked Costco birds being amped up with more phosphate than anyone should ever be allowed to ingest? Or
Probably.
have our taste buds simply evolved to suffer cilantro-like
No.
consequences? Maybe it's time to cut back on the rotisserie.
Honestly, I'm fine with it. Like, so my main love for rotisserie, I would say, came from Spain. Like specifically the south of Spain. Like the way they do rotisserie. I'm talking about, guys, the chicken itself is yellow, as in it's real, and it is somebody's backyard type of thing. You go to somebody's house, they rotisserie it. It tastes absolutely delicious. They normally have like a side of like small potatoes and things like that are added to it. This is a phenomenal thing, I'm telling you guys. Like, try the organic one. So if Whole Foods actually does have organic rotisserie chicken, you know, that sounds like something I should probably encounter. I don't have a Whole Foods near me. I have a Sprouts.
Although rotisserie chickens continue to be a leader in sales for many grocery stores like Costco, the overall impact on consumers and retailers has yet to be revealed. With their continued insistence on $5 birds, Costco claims it is close to selling 100 million units a year. But just a decade ago, those numbers weren't so high, and they claimed a loss of nearly $50 million annually. Whether or not Costco rotisserie chickens still operate at a loss is unclear, but one thing is certain, shoppers want their roasted hens. People worldwide now eat more chicken than ever, and in America, that has led to supply chain issues and ever-rising costs. So it is nice to have a golden hunk of penny-pinching poultry to depend on. So what do you...
All right, guys. All right. I will go ahead and say this, that I don't think that Costco is running at a loss anymore, not on that product at least, because I can only imagine here, specifically with how everything is starting to get more expensive and more expensive. That means it's also more expensive to feed your family. So you can go out and say, hey, listen, all I got is $10, bro, and I got to feed me, my wife, my 2 kids. Well, guess what we're going to do today? All right, we can go and get some rice and a rotisserie chicken, and maybe like a can of some type of vegetable. All right, that's it. We can go home, slice it up, put it on everybody's plate, and guess what? We got food for $10. We just fed for 3-4 people. All right, that's what I'm talking about. I think that in the times today, the most cost-effective thing would probably be that chicken. All right, so now, do I think that sales have gone down? Absolutely not. They've probably just risen. The economy is terrible, guys. But either way, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think. You guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. The fact that you just made it to the end of the video says a whole lot, actually. We have a couple other channels. MrLboyd Music, MrLboyd Movie Reacts, along with MrLboyd Discusses, where I just generally speak about the things that specifically matter to me. But in the meantime, I'll catch you guys later.